It was the beginning of a new semester at Ridgeway University. Students hurried through stone pathways, some chasing deadlines, others chasing dreams. And then there was him, Aarav, a quiet final-year literature student, who found more comfort in novels than in people. He wasn't looking for love, until the moment he saw her, Zoya, laughing at something the world would never know, dressed in an oversized hoodie, her presence as effortless as autumn itself. That moment didn't feel like the beginning of something. It felt like he'd been waiting his whole life to notice her.
He didn't mean to sit across from her. It was just the only empty spot left. She looked up from her notes and smiled. Not the kind that demands anything, but the kind that says, "I see you." Aarav nodded shyly. In the silence between pages turning and pencils scratching, a rhythm started beating, unspoken and unhurried. He watched her lips move while she whispered equations to herself. She noticed the book in his hand and whispered, "That's one of my favorites." And just like that, a spark quietly lit up between two strangers. The rain didn't warn them. It just came pouring down out of nowhere. Everyone scattered for shelter, but Aarav didn't move. Zoya ran toward him, laughing. "You're going to catch a cold." She lifted her umbrella just enough to cover them both. They stood under that tree, her shoulder against his, their laughter mixing with thunder. And in that brief pause, he realized something. This wasn't just a coincidence. He was falling for her. Slowly, silently, like the rain itself. The stars were out, but his heart was louder than the night. Aarav sat beside her, hands shaking, words rehearsed 100 times. Zoya looked up at the sky, not knowing he was staring at his whole universe. "Zoya, I don't know when it happened," he whispered, "but I can't go another day pretending you're just a friend." She turned. Her eyes said everything before her lips even moved. "I was waiting for you to say that." And in that moment, the stars witnessed a love written in silence, finally spoken. The train was late, but time wasn't. Zoya stood there, clutching the letter he gave her, hands shaking, eyes flooded with everything unsaid. Aarav walked toward the train, each step heavier than the last. He turned one last time. Their eyes met. No words, just pain, just love that had no place left to grow. "Promise me you'll write," she whispered. He nodded, not trusting his voice to hold steady. And then the doors closed. Some love stories don't end with forever. They end with a goodbye that never really leaves. Some stories don't need a happy ending. They just need to be remembered. Because some stories live in silence.